Argentine presidential frontrunner Javier Milei is a right-leaning populist, and I have my personal issues with that, but I have a bigger problem with how he's mischaracterized as far-right by the English-speaking world. On this channel, we'll take a look at his platform, plank by plank, and compare it with people who are actually far-right. Today, we'll look at Milei's position on Ukraine. In the US, this is the far-right position on Ukraine.
What I have voted against is funding a war in Ukraine. The entire time I have been saying the United States needs to be pushing for peace in Ukraine, not funding a proxy war with Russia.
Why do I care what's going on in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? And I'm serious. Why do I care? And why shouldn't I root for Russia, which I am?
Then in Brazil, there's the late Bolsonaro government's position on Ukraine. Brazil would not condemn Russia's invasion or vote in favor of sanctions. Bolsonaro was pro-Putin because Putin is anti-LGBTQ, while Lula da Silva is pro-Putin because he has Soviet Union nostalgia. Now this is Milei's Ukraine position in his own words.
Traje la bandera de Ucrania básicamente porque para los que defendemos las ideas de la libertad no podemos soportar ni aceptar una invasión como la que ha tenido Rusia con Ucrania. ¿Qué es la postura del gobierno ante esto? La postura del gobierno es una postura tibia y que es cómplice, digamos, a las peores dictaduras del país, a los autócratas.
Now, in other interviews, Milei has said he believed Trump was a strong president and Biden is a weak one, and that's why Putin feels so enabled. I fully disagree with Trump being a strong president. We now know that members of his campaign did collude and coordinate with members of Russian intelligence. We know Russian spies like Maria Butina infiltrated the GOP. We know that 45's businesses are deeply indebted to Russian and Chinese banks, and that Trump is scared of Vladimir Putin. However, Milei has a point in that Putin feels enabled by Biden's timidness. He was emboldened by seeing the exit from Afghanistan, which turned into a repeat of Saigon in 1975. As this video is produced, the US has barely approved F-16s for Ukraine, which we've been dragging our feet on since the beginning, and the first planes won't even arrive in Ukraine till the end of this year. Moreover, the US still forbids the weapons it gives to Ukraine to be used inside of Russia, even though capturing some of Russia's weakly defended border regions would be the fastest way to get Russia to hand over the Donbass and Crimea, rather than have to be pushed out through a grinding counteroffensive. So unlike the far-right position, which is pro-Putin, Milei is 100% pro-Ukraine and anti-Kremlin. This is also a huge contrast to pro-Putin President Alberto Fernandez, who said publicly that he wants Argentina to be Russia's gateway into Latin America. For more in-depth information, you can listen to Martha's English language Twitter space about Milei, link in the description.